Hello, I'm Deborah Mathis. Welcome to the second International Teleconference on Women's Health, Healthy Behaviors. This broadcast is the first in a four-part series focusing on critical health issues and concerns of women worldwide. It is being brought to you by AHEAD, Adventures in Health, Education, and Agricultural Development.
This conversation is being broadcast to more than 90 countries in Africa, Europe, and the Caribbean, and to numerous cities throughout the United States. It is an important step towards achieving your goal, our goal, of raising public awareness about the many social, economic, and cultural factors that continue to have a negative impact on the health and well-being of women throughout the global community.
I would like to give a challenge to you people, particularly in the United States, when you have so much resources to your disposal, if you can support the African women to be connected to the information highway, because there's so much which is going on and which has been developed or discovered in terms of women's health in the developed countries. While we are still battling to look for water to wash the dishes, and you have the luxury of looking for dishwashers, I think we can connect, and we cannot connect without having computers. I think I won't sound crazy to the African sisters. The computers can cut quite a lot of our expenses on interconnectedness.
We should say that we are not going to have equity without recognition of what it is that disempowers us and a sense that we deserve an equal chance to have an education, an equal chance to have access to information. These are the kinds of things that up until now, many women in the world have felt, well, I'm just a woman, it doesn't matter. Women in this country often feel that way. And I think partnership is essential, but we have to believe in it. So it's not just, getting empowerment, it's also believing that it's necessary for our health and for the health of all of the society.
So this is what I think. And in that case, we can even bring in the issues of traditions that we can eradicate, for example, the genital mutilation. And I would put the question that it's a challenge. It's not only people describe genital mutilation as a barbaric action, instead of looking at it as the traditional behavior which has to change, which we don't want. And for your information, this is not a practice for all African women. It's just about a small percentage, but some of you think every one of us is genitally mutilated. So I would like to say, whether I've gone through it or not, but I think the education is the basis. I mean, if people know we have seen some of our women here in Tanzania who have worked so hard on genital mutilation. They've been more successful on education. But how can we succeed on the education issue if I want to be very frank, some of our countries are so underdeveloped that there's only one textbook to a whole classroom of 40 children. Now, I'm giving this a challenge as a global challenge, that the women here in Africa, they know how to meet, they know how to network, but at the same time, they are battling with very difficult situations. They need the support.
Why are we now dealing with this issue, and why is it so widespread?
This is an excellent question. As you stated a minute ago, this custom, while we know it does not affect all women in Africa, it does affect, according to the World Health Organization's 1994 report, 85 to 115 million women, mostly in Africa. And many people think that that figure is too low. So therefore, it is still a problem that needs to be dealt with. This is an example of a harmful traditional practice. I am trained in culture studies. I'm a medical anthropologist, and I certainly respect culture. But every aspect of culture is not something to be preserved. Things that are harmful should be reduced and eradicated. Let's start from the premise that all women and all people who are less than equal are always told you must alter yourself to look like your superior people in your society in order to be accepted, and even then you're not accepted as an equal. So if we can start from that premise of equality, then we can talk. If we can't, let's close right now. I'm quite serious. I'm tired.
Yes, okay, we're going to...
Okay, I'm very tired of being labeled. Let us see African women as having problems just like all women have problems. Let us try to see what we can do to solve this. One thing I think we can do is, as the first speaker said, increase the information. Let parents know out front this, you're risking the life of your daughter, or at least you're causing her possible great medical harm if you do this operation, and that she doesn't need it. If we can empower women economically and psychologically, and then we will not need to give in to pressure from husbands or grandmothers or whoever else to do this surgery. We also have to develop posters that are visible messages without anyone knowing how to read or write or know any particular language. We can have a poster campaign to design, to put all over, have a blitz around our communities.
What's the status of violence in women?
Well, I think an important place to begin our discussion is to really acknowledge that when it comes to issues of violence, the United States has a bad record. We have had an epidemic of youth violence that sets us apart from most industrialized countries. We've understood more and more the connection between violence against women, child abuse, street violence, and gang violence. We are understanding that those children who witness a lot of violence and are victims of violence are children that are at greater risk for street violence and gang violence. Violence is anything you would not want someone to do to you. And I like that definition because it takes us much beyond the physical and into issues of power and control and oppression. But it also is, it also acknowledges that the recipient of the behavior and the recipient's interpretation of that behavior is critical to understanding it as violence.
The World Health Organization reports that more than 50% of women suffer some physical violence from their male partners. Is that number right? More than half?
It is right, and it's even more. In fact, studies across many countries, as diverse as the United States, Papua New Guinea, Canada, Tanzania, the Caribbean, and so on, have shown that you have rates, depending upon the type of violence, ranging between 20 to 60% of women. And what is really incredible is that one is experiencing this sort of, I agree, really abnormal situation in the most intimate context, which is the home, the family, and the community. I like to say that the Beijing Conference and the Platform of Action reminded us that until women are able to live in a world where they are free from violence, women will never be truly empowered.
If you would like a copy of this program or further information about our upcoming teleconferences, contact us at AHEAD, P.O. Box 2049, Rockville, Maryland 20847-2049, USA, or call 1-301-530-3697. AHEAD is a nonprofit self-help organization working to combat malnutrition, disease, and poverty in developing countries.